guys, it's time for an update on the Fairmont. So, not a whole lot has changed. We're down to the fiddly bits. Started to reassemble the interior, and I need to drop that dash again because apparently some things got unplugged that need to be replugged in. And started putting the interior back together. A good friend of ours who does detailing on cars a lot did some of the refinishing on the interior panels. I am super thrilled with how they turned out. They look as close to brand new as they can get, and you know, just reassembling stuff. And the bench seat, of course, is staying. Trying to figure out where we're gonna hide the battery, and my dad has been working on reinforcing the lower control arm mounts, the pickup points, so this should all be tied together, and you can see it's plated on both sides, on the top and the front, and then plated on the bottom, tied into the subframe connectors. So it's really coming along back here, and I threw down a coat of paint, just a foam roller, and just to keep it from rusting, and you know, just slowly knocking stuff out. So I've decided that I'm not going to mess with the gold box. We have a gold box on the Nova, and I've struggled for many hours trying to get the car to idle right. I mean, yeah, it has a pretty aggressive cam. It's, in fact, there you go, that's what cam's in it. Yeah, that's a lot of duration. 258 degrees of duration on the exhaust, so yeah, that's pretty aggressive. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really fighting a easy battle to win trying to get that cam to idle, but I'd really like to not deal with that. For the drag week car, I'd like it to just idle and not have to think about it. And a friend of mine and my dad's, he ordered a Terminator X recently, and I got to play with it, and I am extremely impressed, and so I bought one. Yeah, so we're going Terminator X on this car, and I'm pretty excited. So I decided to go with the X Max with the drive-by-wire, just because I think it's going to be a better package. That way I can do engine protection and that sort of thing. And should be able to support all the I/O that I would like to take advantage of. Also, big plus, has a wiring harness, so I don't have to make a wiring harness for a gold box, because I bought the got a good deal on a unterminated gold box, and that's what I was planning to go with, but I would have had to make a wiring harness, but I don't have to do that anymore. Also, major plus, it has a digital dash, which I will likely put about here. Yeah, it's only a 3.5-inch display, but you can display quite a bit of information on that, so that's going to save me a lot of money on gauges and a lot of headache on wiring and plumbing those. I'm not a big fan of doing that, so having that be just a plug and play deal is really nice. So I'm really looking forward to getting this one done. This is by far my favorite car. a lot of you might be like, what about your Studebaker? Well, I've always wanted to do a serious turbo LS car, and this is like, I mean, also I've always wanted to do a serious street race small block power adder car for drag week, because I've wanted to go on drag week for a long time, and something I've said is, yeah, I'd love to go in the Street Machine Eliminator class, which is like the daily driver, 10-0 class, but there's so many cars in that class, and I feel like they kind of try to dissuade people from getting into that class just because you're potentially taking spots from people with cars like this, and not that there's anything wrong with somebody who wants to bring a daily driver. That's perfectly fine. You want to go for the experience and that kind of stuff, but you're potentially taking the spot from somebody with a 6-second drag car, or, I mean, I'm not claiming to be, Larry Larson or Jeff Lutz, but I'd like to think that having a class car is, I think it's kind of cool. So, yeah, it's something that I've always wanted to do. I didn't think it would be this soon, to be honest. I was expecting it to be a couple years down the road. This car just kind of popped up, and it was too good of a deal to pass up. And we were going to take my Studebaker, but it was like, nobody's going to carry spare 4200 parts with them on drag week. So let's go with something that is extremely popular and everybody and their mom has one. So that's kind of where this car came from. So anyways, but I think that's about where I'm gonna leave you guys off. I've been experimenting with a 3D printer that I just recently got, and I'm thinking about 3D printing some parts for the car. I'd like to do a air intake. I might have talked about this already. I'd like to do a air intake off the turbos to the grill, and some overflow tanks and that sort of thing, catch can and whatnot. So more of that is incoming, so stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.